This morning on Leonard's Look, our Mike Leonard on the sweet smell of success. And it's not about the dollars and cents, it's about the satisfaction and the smiles.
In the subjective world of TV news reporting, it's important to find the proper balance. Overloading a story with too many smiles could give it a hokey tilt. Pouring on too much emotion might tip it over the sentimental line. But if the emotions are sincere and the smiles legit, well, then a reporter has no choice but to dig in and deal with the consequences when faced with too much of a good thing. Which is exactly what I was facing at Capannari's, the renowned and much honored premium ice cream shop in the suburban Chicago town of Mount Prospect. A bustling place run by friendly people who understand how difficult it is for the humble voices of everyday folk to rise above the din of the news seekers.
This story that...
Or the passing motorcycles. Or the approaching trains. Or the car alarms.
Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law.
That's Jim's car, too.
Meg Capannari, her husband Jim, Meg's sister Katie Dolan-Dix, and her husband Ken mortgaged everything to open Capannari's 10 years ago. They leased a refurbished historic building, Mount Prospect's oldest, hoping that the combination of great homemade ice cream served in a unique setting would help to revitalize their hometown by creating a place for people to gather. It was a noble idea, but not without major concerns.
How much experience did you have in the ice cream business?
0.
Had you ever made ice cream?
No.
But he would learn, and so would they, drawing on strengths that had little to do with the ice cream business.
I'm the youngest of 13, and my wife is the youngest of 10. And that's one of the big things that I think helps us with this business is when we were growing up, I saw my mom and my dad and how hard they had to work, and it touches you, you know. You just go, you know, someday I've got to come through like they did.
Jim's award-winning ice cream is now on par with the best in the country, while Katie's enthusiastic staff of teenage workers smiles through the onslaught, brought about on this day by the presence of Olympic speed skater and Illinois native Catherine Reuter, who won a silver and a bronze in Vancouver, then commented to the press about celebrating someday with an 18-scoop ice cream cone, happily served up by the grateful people who never take their success for granted.
The day before I opened, I'm also a full-time fireman in Mount Prospect, and I'm sitting with a guy, and he looks at me and he says, you know, I just read something. He says, 80% of businesses that start fail in the first 5 years, and like 60% of those that make it fail in the next 5 years. I'm like, oh, thanks for the confidence, Jim.
To look out here on a really busy, warm night and see families here and people eating ice cream and laughing and joking and say, we started this.
Yeah, you know, my dad stopped me about a half hour before we opened the doors the first day. And he pulled me and he made me walk across the street. He had me look at the building, and he said, I'm really, really proud of you, and I know you're going to have a ton of success.
And they say we don't make things in America anymore. For today, Mike Leonard, NBC News, Mount Prospect, Illinois.